Paste. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 3 of Lean Six Sigma Green Belt Hackathon. Yes. So, before I begin, before we start the recap, how many of you would be giving or would be attempting exam today? Just type me in the chat box. The people who have completed their green belt study and after this hackathon, their revision also would be completed and they would be ready for the examination. Tell me how many of you are ready for the examination. Just type me in the chat box. Okay, how many of you are ready? Now, the people who are very new in the system have not been through the entire, the green belt curriculum yet. I would suggest, heavily that you should not attempt the examination. Don't be hurry into that. First, make sure that you are completely confident. You go through entire curriculum, go through the recording of, the hackathon, then you decide. There is a sample questionnaire at the bottom of the green belt sessions, green belt curriculum as well, which you can just go through once so that it will give you the idea whether how much ready you are right now. Okay. And I'll explain about the examination procedure at the end of the session. If you are ready, then and only then you should attempt the examination. I'll tell you the reason behind it. The risk is not to fail the examination, but the risk is you might clear the examination without understanding, the gravity of, without understanding the concepts clearly. Okay, that's the risk. So make sure that you are completely confident about all the tools, techniques, the procedures, everything. Then only you can go for the examination. Okay, you can take a call. Okay, you can take a call on this. Super, everything. Yeah, there are few people who are ready. There are few people who would need some time. I respect your decision. Okay. So let's start our 86% recovery, which is called our recap. Okay. So what did we cover yesterday? Chalo, फटाफट type कर दो यहाँ पे in the chat. Randomly you can type the topic. What have we covered yesterday? ओके अनुज जी तो पूरे रेडी ही बैठे हैं पूरा उन्होंने पूरा कॉपी करके let me just paste it here so that other people also will see this. Okay, thank you Anuj ji, really appreciate it. Look at this. He has mentioned histogram, stability, normality, control chart, measurement system analysis, AAA, and hypothesis testing, 2 sample t-test. Now you can add, other people can add on this. no problem. Yes, you can take your time for examination. Yes. चलो और क्या मिसिंग है इसमें? Did we cover correlation regression yesterday? Yes. So you can add correlation regression as well, right? Apart from that, we have seen Minitab application. We have seen process capability analysis, how to calculate the Z value. Remember, right? SNC, stability, normality, capability. Yes, very good. Stability, normality, capability. Stability, nothing but control charts. So today also we are going to cover, a lot of control charts. So in the control phase, a lot of control charts come. Okay. Yes, hypothesis testing, process capability. Super. So basically we covered the part of the measure phase and the part of analysis phase. Okay, so see, in analyze phase we identify the causes, root causes, which is fishbone and viva analysis, and then we validate those root causes with the help of the hypothesis testing and regression. So yesterday we saw hypothesis testing and regression. So in the green belt level, the awareness of hypothesis testing, awareness of regression is what is expected from you people. Okay, and as you go further in the black belt level, master black belt level, then it is expected that you should understand in depth. Okay, even manual calculation also you should be able to do it. Okay. Yes, yesterday we saw the difference between control limits and specification limits, operational definition, correct? All those things, remember? Control limit, specification limit. Everybody remembers? Just give me yes in the chat box. The difference between control limits and the specification limit. Yes, we saw that on the whiteboard, the difference, right? Everybody remember this? Yes, data types and all. Yes, perfect, perfect. Now it is a time to move on to the next part of it, which is our improve phase. Okay, let me just share my screen with you. So in the improve phase, again, let me reiterate, I am using the same slides. Okay, I'm not prepared any special slides for the hackathon. I'm using the same content which has been given in the Greenbelt curriculum. Okay, so what we do basically in the analyze phase, in the improve phases. So if there are some lean tools required, screen is not visible, is it? Is my screen visible or no? Okay, let me just. Is it visible now? Which says improve roadmap. Yes. Okay. सुमन जी को नहीं दिख रहा है. Okay. Can you just see the other what you can say other this one the window. Maybe or you can rejoin it. That will be better. Yeah. Super. Um, so creating the lean process. So I'll be covering some lean tools today. Then we will generate what are the different types tools which we use in like Scamper etc. to generate the solutions. Then evaluation of the solutions के बारे में बात करेंगे. So and then control phase के बारे में बात करेंगे. Okay. So let's talk about some of the lean tools which are used. Okay, if you remember, I spoke about the lean process and Six Sigma process. So there are two processes in analyze phase. So here also in the improve phase also, there are some lean tools and there are some Six Sigma, the solution generation tools, etc. So here is something which is these are some of the tools, setup time reduction, VA, NVA analysis and elimination. If you remember, I mentioned that on day 3, I will cover this topic. Okay. Cellular processing, then controlling WIP. There is a very important rule called Little's Law. Okay. Little's Law I will cover today, which will be very important. Then push and pull system, housekeeping 5S, and technological improvement. So these are all lean tools basically, which are covered over here. So I will just cover some of the important tools, 4 to 5 important tools in this lean improvements. Okay. The first one, first and the foremost, is called as setup time reduction. Setup time reduction. Now setup time reduction, even though it is originated in manufacturing setup, but it is also can be used in the service setup as well. Setup time, let's say for example, you want to change the server or you want to change the application or software. Okay, so there also setup time reduction can be useful tool. Okay, now how many of you are from manufacturing background or some exposure to manufacturing? Just type me in the chat box. How many of you are from like, just type me in the chat box. Just give me. Okay. Yeah, quite a few people. Okay, very good. Interesting. I was thinking most of you guys will be from, okay, from insurance and pharma. Yeah. Okay, why manufacturing? Because it was originated in manufacturing. Okay, it was basically originated in, automotive segment, especially in Toyota, because lean has originated in Toyota, right? So setup time reduction is also called as SMED technique, SMED, which is called as single minute exchange of die. Single minute exchange of die. Now, what is die? Die meaning DIE, die. Okay. Die is not the death we are talking about here. Die is a mechanical equipment, basically. Okay. Which is, for example, let's say, this was originated in the manufacturing of automotive, right? So let's say, imagine this is your car. Okay, imagine this is your, let's say, car, and you want to make. Now here there are various body parts of the car are basically used. Okay, for example, let's say this rooftop. Okay, imagine this rooftop has to be made. Okay, now this is made by the steel. Now what you should do, so this is a rooftop, then this is, that bonnet wala part. Okay, So front wala part, and then the chassis, then the front door, this door, then the back door. So all parts are of different size and different shape. Are you understanding? So to manufacture these parts, they used to have one equipment called die. Let's say a very simple example I'm giving. Let's say I want to make this rooftop like this. Okay. So imagine this is a steel plate and there is one hydraulic ram. Hydraulic ram is nothing but a full pressurized ram which can push the plate below. It will push that plate and there will be a die over here. Okay, like this, there will be a die. I'm just giving you a very simple example. And then once this ram pushes it through, then it will take the shape of this die and you will get this kind of a shape of the plate, which can be used for the rooftop. Are you clear with this? So this part basically is called as die. Just for a very simple example I'm talking about. Actually, there are some mechanical equipments, but so this is a die where, it gives us the shape. Once it goes through that, then it takes that shape. So now what they used to do, so to change this entire equipment setting, sometimes it used to take 24 to 48 hours. 24 to 48 hours. Okay. So ये see die को imagine करने के लिए have you seen casting? Casting देखा है casting? So like those idols are made in cast where they pour the molten metal in that cast which is already has a shape of that idol, and then if they open that, it will idol will come out. The same thing, the same phenomena is there. Okay. Anyway, so that it is called as die casting. Okay. Similarly, so die mechanism, same thing. Now coming back to this thing. Now this would take 24 to 48 hours in Toyota. Okay. To avoid this, okay, to avoid this changeover time, you know what Ford used to make? Ford used to make all the cars with the same color, okay, with the same size, with the same shape, and that was the famous, Model T. If you remember these kinds of, if you see from the top, very old 1930, 1940, these kinds of cars were there, right? If you see from the top, they would look like a T, okay, like this. So these cars Ford used to make, and all of with the black color because they had the fear of losing productivity because of this setup time. Now, when Toyota came across this challenge, there was an engineer called Shigo Shingo who took this challenge that I will reduce this time, and Mr. Shigo Shingo reduced from 24 to 48 hours to less than 10 minutes. That's why it's called as single minute exchange of die, SMED. So single minute meaning it's not 1 minute, it is less than 10 minutes. Okay, so something like 1 to 9 minutes. They reduce the timeline to reduce the change the die, and this mechanism is called as setup time reduction or SMD. Now I'll give you a very simple example so that you can any common person also will understand, because we don't have all the people from the manufacturing background. Okay, so let's say imagine you are making a, a juice. Okay, you have a juicer, juicer stall. Say this is your juicer mixer, and now you are making, let's say you are making apple juice. Okay, and the next customer wants let's say orange juice. Okay, now so from apple to orange, whatever changes you will have to do, those are called as setup time. That change from product apple juice to take the change over to the orange juice, this entire procedure, whatever time is required, that is called as setup time. Now, for example, now here in this juicer mixer, there is a blade inside which will rotate, correct? Yes. Yes, exactly. So from one SKU to another SKU. Okay, whichever product. So I'm just giving you a very simple example. Okay. So now in this mixer juicer, you might have to change this, this entire utensil. You have to change the setting of the blades. You have to peel off the onion. All these are activities you have to do. You have to clean this entire thing. So what Shigo Shingo did, he divided this entire activity into four different major parts. One is called as preparation. For example, for orange, what kinds of preparation will be required? First of all, you need to purchase the oranges. Okay. Then you need to peel off the oranges. Okay. So wash it and then peel off the oranges. Remove these, seeds, etc. Okay. Clean them. Maybe you can chop them into smaller pieces so that crushing can happen properly. All these things come under preparation. Now you tell me, while apple juice is being made in this mixer, okay, can you do the preparation parallelly? Just type yes or no in the chat box. Can you do the orange preparation parallelly? Do you have to stop the machine for that? Right? You can do that, right? Just give me yes in the chat box, correct? So we need not to stop the machine for that. And that activity is called as external activity. What is external activity? External activity is the activity for which you need not to stop the machine, which can be done externally. वो बाहर से ही हो जाएगी. Okay. Yes. No. Even let's say machine is mixing. That juicer is on. You can lock the the lid of that, and you can also do it right when the machine is preparing the apple juice. Correct. So the point is that you should not be able to stop the machine. That's the point. Okay. Now then the setup and adjustment. What is that? Setup and adjustment meaning you need to change. Let's say the blade, for example. Now the mixer blade need to change. Now setting up that blade on that nut bolt, then lock it up and adjust, align it. So this is all setup and adjustment. Now tell me, can you do setup and adjustment without stopping the machine? Can you do that when the mixer is on? Can you do the setup and adjustment? No, right? So that's why it is called as internal activities. Internal activities are the activities for which you need to stop the machine. Okay. So setup and adjustments are internal activities, and a test run. What is test run? Before we start the full-fledged production, we take a small sip of the orange juice, right? Just to make sure that the test is proper, everything is proper, and everything. Okay. So that is also called as external activity. So you can just take it out and start the machine all over. So in our production system as well, before we start the full-fledged production, we take a sample and then the quality testing is done. And then once the quality gives us the green signal, then only we start a full-fledged production. Okay, so this is, let's say, apple, and this is, let's say, orange. Okay, so from apple to orange, these are the activities we have to do. Now, what Shigo Shingo did, Shigo Shingo started preparing this before we stop the machine. Okay, and what he did, he standardized the setting of the best performance. Whenever we had the best performance, so he standardized the setting of that. And if we can copy the same setting of the speed, of the quality of oranges, of everything, then at least we should be very near to the target, right? Maybe we not be exactly hit the target, but we will be very near to the target. So what he has done by standardizing the setting, he has eliminated the test runs as well. So preparation has gone out, the test run has gone out, so preparation would take generally 25% of the time, the test run would take 50% of the time. So almost 75% of the time has been eliminated. Now coming to setup and adjustment. Now what he did, he just made certain changes in the tools, techniques. For example, you would have seen. Have you seen the Formula One racing? How many of you have seen Formula One racing? Just type me in the chat box. Have you seen Formula One racing? Correct? Yes, everybody has seen the Formula One racing at least once, correct? Yes. Imagine, not live, but at least the recording of that, right? Now imagine when our cars, our cars tire get punctured. Okay, when we have a flat tire, when we have the flat tire, how much time do we require to change the tire with the the replaceable one? How much time do we take generally? Type in the chat box. Now again, it depends on person to person, the skill to skill. But generally, at least if you're expert, at least 5 to 10 minutes. Yes, 5 to 10 minutes if you're expert. If you're not expert, at least half an hour to 1 hour. Yes or no? Everybody? Yes? Correct. If you're driving, yeah. So if you're expert, then 10 to 15 minutes. If you're not expert, then half an hour to 45 minutes, or you would take the help of someone else. Okay. Now, have you seen because the Formula One people run that car at very high speed, their tire gets ruptured, and after certain laps, they have to change it. So our traditional what you can say nut bolt removing arrangement will not be helpful. So they use very high speed pneumatic wrenches. What is pneumatic wrenches? These are the spanners which rotate pneumatically. Pneumatic meaning with the high pressure air. Okay, so they rotate with pneumatic air, they fix with pneumatic air. So they can take out the nut bolt and fit the nut bolt in seconds, fraction of the seconds. And we would take another 2 to 3 minutes to remove one nut and one bolt. Okay. So those kinds of arrangement basically Shigo Shingo did, and they reduced the setup and adjustment time as well. Okay, so preparation and test runs have been eliminated, and setup and adjustment times have been reduced drastically with the help of technology. And this is where they got it brought down to from 24 hours to 7 minutes, 8 minutes time. Are you clear with the funda? This setup time reduction called SMED. Just type yes in the chat. There are a lot of companies basically use SMED technique very, very effectively for their setup time reduction of anything, product A to product B. Okay, you can reduce this drastically because the setup time is a non-productive time. You're not producing anything in between. So how much time machine is off, we are not producing anything. It's an unproductive time that can be reduced drastically by this technique. Okay, very, very powerful technique called setup time reduction. Okay, funda samajh mein. I've just made it super simple so that you can easily understand. Okay, yes, idle time. It's completely idle time. It adds no value to the product. It adds no value to the business and the customer. Very good. So it has been explained in your curriculum step by step how you can achieve that. Okay. Now comes the next part. So I'm just covering some of the lean tools here. Okay. Covering this is the next part, which is called elimination of NVAs, non-value added activities. Okay. Now, see, there are three parts in any of the activities. One is value added. Second one is business value added, and third one is non-value added. What is value added? Value added meaning the activities which customer is willing to pay for it. Okay. Example, if you book a cab from your residence to airport, so whatever bill will happen for that cab, you are willing to pay because to take you safely on time from point A to point B, and you are willing to pay for it. And it's called value added activity. Right? What is non-value added activity? If the car is waiting, okay, if the cab is waiting meaning you are sitting inside, and let's say cab is waiting for the driver's personal work. That is non-value added activity. Are you understanding? What is business value added activity? Business value, signal also, signal, traffic, these are all non-value added, waiting time. Okay. Yeah, business value added activity is the maintenance of the car or fueling of the car. These are called business value added. It is not adding direct value to the customer, but it is required for the business to run. Another example of business value added activity is, maintenance of the machines, the oiling, greasing, maintenance of the machines. Now tell me, maintenance of the machine, will customer pay for your maintenance of the machine? Tell me yes or no in the chat box. Will customer pay for your grease and the oils and whatever you are doing? Yeah, for the preventive maintenance. Will your customer pay for preventive maintenance? No. But is it required to do? Is it required to do? Are you understanding? So it is not required by the customer, but is required by the business, and that is called a business value added. Clear? Another example is, yes, exactly. If you don't maintain them, if you don't give them the, the oiling and greasing and inspection, etc., then machines will fail. It will give you, the downtimes, right? Breakdowns. So, another example, let's say Lean Six Sigma training. Lean Six Sigma training. Okay, now just see the perspective of customer and the business. Okay, now Lean Six Sigma training in your organization, is it value added to the customer, business value added, or non-value added? Type in chat box. Everybody think about it and type in the chat box. Is it value added, non-value added, or business value added? Type in the chat box. Everybody think about it and give me the answer. See, simple ask, you need to ask the question, is it non-value added? Of course, no. It has to add the value to the business, right? Will customer, see, ask the question, will customer pay for the training program? Will your customer pay for the training program? The answer is no, because it is our business's requirement. It is our business's duty, responsibility, accountability to, upgrade our processes, upgrade our skill set of the people of problem solving. That's why it becomes the business value added activity. Yeah. Yes, BVA. Okay. So what we do here what we do, we first of all, we map the entire process. Okay, this is just a process. I've just given just a sample process right here. And once you map the process, then you can give the color coding, different color coding. Yellow process is a value added activity. Red wins are the non-value added activity, etc. Okay. Then you can check how much time each and every activity is taking, and give the give the label to each and every activity. Okay, what I would encourage you guys to do it, make your own process. Okay, and once your process is done, then each and every activity, ask the question, is it value added, is it business value added, is it non-value added? And whatever business value added is there, give color, you can give a color code, maybe a yellow, non-value added, give the red, etc. Okay, just like this. Once it is done, then you have to brainstorm, how can I eliminate these activities which are in red? Okay, so like this, for example. So after doing a lot of brainstorming, see, you cannot eliminate 100% of non-value added activities. Okay, but whatever is possible, if not complete activity, then can you reduce the timeline of that activity? Okay, and then by doing that, we remove the activity. See, if let's say earlier we had 20 activities, eliminating the non-value added activities, now we have 15 activities. The number of activities, when it reduces, the time, the lead time also reduces. How many of you got this point? Just type yes in the chat box. If the number of activities also will reduce, the total lead time also will reduce. Just type yes in the chat box if you understood this point. Correct? And that's what exactly we do in this VA NVA analysis. So first we identify the processes and find out what is the time for this, what is the time for each and every activity, label that activity value added, non-value added, business value added. Okay, you need not to eliminate non-value added, but try to eliminate, you cannot eliminate the value added, but try to eliminate the non-value added activities. Okay, yeah, I'll repeat again. See, very simple. Again, I'm repeating. First, map the entire process. Okay, just like this. User departments like this. Okay, for example, user department sends the payment memo, then internal courier, then dispatch. So each and every step you are mapping. And for each and every step, how much time does it take? You will calculate the time for each and every step. Okay, done. Third step is then label that activity. Is it value added? Is it non-value added? Is it business value added? And give the color coding. Clear? Give the red color to the non-value added activities, and your target should be to eliminate those activities. How do you eliminate those activities? Ask the question, is it required? What will happen if I can remove that? Okay. Do you remember Scamper? How many of you remember Scamper in the yellow belt? Just type me in the chat box. Everybody knows Camper, right? Substitute, combine, add up, modify. Remember that? So we can use Camper in these non-value-added activities. Can I substitute these activities? Can I eliminate this activity? Can I remove this activity? So if you do this, then you will understand that yes, we can step by step, we can find out, we can eliminate these activities as well. Okay, not all, but see, this is not one-time activity. It has to be done repeatedly just to reduce the number of unwanted stuff. Okay, once you do that, then you have a new process emerges with having less number of activities. And see, earlier, if you had 20 activities and you used to take, let's say, 1 hour for that, now you have 15 activities. Obviously, number of steps goes down. The time duration also goes down, proportionately. So earlier it was 1 hour, maybe it can be done in 40 minutes or 30 minutes. And this is how this VA and VA analysis happens. If you remember yesterday, I spoke about the lean process and the Six Sigma process. Lean process is used wherever the time is the problem or the time project is there. Lead time reduction, downtime reduction. So lean products. Now our SMBD also focuses on the time. This also is focusing on the time. Clear, everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear hai? Everybody with me? Clear? Super, super. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, let's talk about a very important tool, which is called Little's Law, which again, it is talking about the lead time. Okay. How you can lead time, how you can reduce the lead time is by using the Little's Law. Okay. Now, Professor Little was professor in MIT. Okay, he was an MIT professor, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, US. So according to him, the lead time, the total lead time, the order to delivery lead time is directly proportionate to WIP, amount of work in progress, and inversely proportionate to the completion rate. I'll give you a very practical, simple example so that you can easily understand this. Okay. Now, imagine you are, yes. Okay. Imagine you go to a ATM. Okay. A ATM machine. So let's say ATM machine. And that ATM machine dispenses the cash in 5 minutes. Okay. For one person, it takes 5 minutes to dispense the cash, including entire procedure. Okay. Now you go to take out some cash. Now there are already 5 people in the queue. It is nothing but it is kind of a WIP, work in progress. Okay. And you are the 6th person. This is you. Okay. Now tell me, how much time would you take to take out your cash? Type in the chat box. There are already 5 people in the queue. 5 minutes is the time to dispense the cash for one person. What is the total duration you would take to dispense the cash? Is 30 minutes. Very simple. 6 into 5, 30 minutes, right? In which 25 minutes would be waiting time and 5 minutes will be your cash dispense. So this is a non-value added and this is value added time. Are you clear, everybody? 25 minutes is non-value added and 5 minutes is value added, where you are dispensing the cash. Clear? Yahan tak funda clear hai, right? So lead time is, at this case, is 30 minutes. Okay. Now let's apply this Little's law. So it is directly proportional to WIP. So now our WIP is this, correct? Now what we are doing, instead of 5, we are removing 3 people. Okay. Now there are only 2 people in the queue. Now tell me what will be your lead time. So we have reduced the WIP here. Now what will be your lead time? Type in the chat box, everybody. 15 minutes. So 5 minutes is your value added time and 10 minutes is your non-value added waiting time. Correct? Now, have you realized that from 30 minutes, so here 30 minutes, we have reduced to 15 minutes just by reducing WIP. Okay? Now coming back to the denominator, which is average completion rate, which is 5 minutes right now. Okay. Now, instead of 5 minutes, we do some automation in the machine. We improve the network, etc. And now the machine is dispensing the cash in 2 minutes right now. In 2 minutes, it starts dispensing. Now tell me, there are two people in the queue. You are the third person. 2 minutes is the completion time. So what would be your lead time now? Type in the chat box. With 2 minutes now, machine is taking 6 minutes exactly, in which 2 minutes will be the value added and 4 minutes will be non-value added. Are you clear with this? So you can work on the WIP, which is work in progress inventory basically, and you can work on the completion rate as well. Clear, everybody? Yeah. Yeah, Virendraji, I'm talking about only two people in the queue. And you are the third person, only three people, including you, only three people. So 2 into 3 is 6 minutes. Okay, got it? Yeah. So this is how from 30 minutes we reduced it to 6 minutes just by working on work in progress as well as the completion rate. Clear? Everybody just give me yes in the chat box. Clear hai? Super. This is called a Little's law. Okay. Again, this also is focusing on the lead time. Okay. Okay. So whichever is applicable in your project, you need to apply this. Okay. Yeah, see, average completion rate is nothing but, for example, let's say when I have 5 minutes dispensing time, what is average completion rate per hour? So the machine can complete 12 dispenses per hour, right? It's called average completion rate. Now, when I improve it to 2 minutes, my average completion rate would be how much? It would be 30 people per hour. So average completion rate would go up. Correct? So as the denominator would go up, your total lead time will come down. Correct? Order dispatch. Yes. So in this case, so let's take a example of order to dispatch of any order. Let's say, okay. Now you get the order, and this is the machine. This is the factory. Okay. There are already 100 pieces. Now there is a next order of 50 pieces coming. Okay, let's say there is one order comes. Okay, now this order has to wait till those 100 WIP will get processed, right? Are you clear with this? Yes. So if you want to focus on this, if you want to start processing this order, first you have to flush out the pipeline inventory, right? So this is how the WIP, if more the WIP, more waiting time. Simple logic, right? And completion rate is nothing but, let's say you are taking, for every process you are taking 5 minutes. Instead of that, now you have improved to, let's say, 1 minute. That's a completion rate has improved, right? Once the completion rate has improved, then you can flush out the material faster from the system and you can fulfill so the lead time will reduce now. So one is the WIP reduction and second is the faster completion rate. Both these aspects if you work on, then your lead time can reduce faster. Okay? Clear? With this, so remember that ATM wala example. Okay, ATM wala example also can be very helpful for you to remember. Okay, earlier there were 6 people in the queue. It was taking 30 minutes. Now there are 3 people in the queue. Now you have reduced to 15 minutes. Okay, then we reduce the completion rate and then, yes, exactly. So it depends on where you are using this. Okay, so Little's law is very, very powerful law. Okay, super. Now it is explained with various examples you can see here in your curriculum. Okay. Now there is next one is workflow layout, which these kinds of spaghetti diagrams you can make, and instead of this pillar to post kind of thing, you can make a cellular processing layout like this. Okay. One of the example of this was one of a bank, which in Mumbai, basically, it's a real example. They used to take the loan processing. Okay, a loan processing time. There was a big building of the backend processing, and I think it was around 20-story building was there. And in that building, there were 3 approvers were sitting on different. Now, this entire building was a backend of that bank. Okay. Now, people used to sit. One person was used to sit in the third floor. Second used to sit on seventh floor. Third one was maybe 14th floor, like that. Okay. So now the loan processing file, I'm talking about the old scenario. Okay, when the physical file used to move. So people used to move the file from third floor to seventh floor, from seventh floor to 14th floor. If they're not available, it has to wait over there. And the loan processing time, the approval time was 7 days. Okay. Then what we did, we reshuffled them into the cellular processing and we asked them to sit together like this on the same floor, on the same, same layout, so that then the processing time was reduced from 7 days to 1 day, just by making the changes in the sitting arrangement. Okay, so if you remember the team wood, there is something called motion waste, right? So motion waste, it generally happens because of these kinds of layouting problem. Okay, which is there in the factories, which are there in the offices. See, what happens is most of the times, the expansion happens without planning. Okay, just like our cities, no, just like our cities, the expansion of the cities happened haphazard manner. Similarly, in the offices and the factories, as the business grows, the expansion of the business grows in the haphazard manner. And what happens? It impacts this, the motion waste, which is unwanted to and fro. Like one example I always give is the printer. If I'm sitting here and my printer is 50 meter away from me, I have to walk across 50 meter, come back 50 meter, and that 100 meter is a waste of time for me just to take one printout. So this is what is, to avoid this, we can go for cellular processing either like this, or, you can make them sit on the same floor nearby to each other so that they can do it faster, efficient way. Okay, are you clear with this? It's called cellular processing. So you can make the cells of them. Okay, cells meaning the group basically. Okay, clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. See that these are all concepts I'm just running through, which are already there in your green belt curriculum, and in GB it has explained in details. You can check out that. Okay, super. Now, how many of you are aware of 5S Japanese method? How many of you are aware of it? Yeah, a lot of people are aware of. Very nice. Super. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so it is 5S basically are five Japanese word called Siri, Siton, Siso, Shiketsu, and Chitsuke. Now, the pronunciations are a little different than the Japanese people, but the translation in English is sorting, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Now, a lot of people consider this as housekeeping only, but it is not only housekeeping. Yes, of course, it is housekeeping first, which is the basic foundation, but it improves the morale of the people. It improves the productivity of the people. It improves the quality of the people. It improves the safety of the people. It improves the, reduces the downtime. So a lot of things can be improved with the help of this 5S. Okay, so let me just quickly go through it. So sorting meaning whatever is required and whatever is not required, segregating them, separate them, that is called sorting. Okay, so and freeing up the space. Now this includes, so the best place, I always say this, the best place of 5S is our kitchen. Our kitchen is the best place where the 5S you can see naturally. Okay, natural 5S can be observed in our kitchen. Okay, similarly, the same 5S you can implement in your library, in your email box as well, where a lot of emails are there, where you are not using them, you are not reading them, unread emails are there. It is making your system slow. Okay, so sorting meaning whatever is needed, whatever is not needed, tag them, label them. Okay, then set in order. There's a principle called PEEP principle, P-E-E-P. You can see here P-E-E-P. What is P-E-E-P? P-E-E-P stands for place for everything and everything in its place. Okay, PEEP, place for everything, everything in its place. So in this, what we do is whatever is required, we place it in proper segment, proper cupboards, proper spaces, label them properly so that you can easily identify, retrieve them as well wherever, let's say, audits are there. Okay. Now, who are the auditors here? How many of you are auditors? Just give me in the chat box. Any kind of auditor, ISO auditor, safety audit, or even finance audit. A lot of audits we do, right? So how many of you are internal auditors, external auditors? Just give me in the chat box. Anybody? Okay. If you're not auditors, have you seen the audits being conducted? At least you would have seen audits being conducted, yes or no? Correct? Yeah, a lot of people are internal auditor, external auditor. Very good, very good, super. Now, when you ask for a certain document or certain record, and the team is not able to bring that immediately within a small amount of time, it itself shows that the set in order is not in place. The files, the folders, the data, the information, whatever you are asking for, the record, document, it is not in place. That's why the retrieval. So retrieval time is an indicator for this. If they're failing to retrieve in a short amount of time, then it is a clear-cut failure of our PIP principle. Okay, that's the second one. Then comes the shine. Shine meaning cleaning first of all. Okay, shine itself is cleaning and make it shine, right? Now, while cleaning, it is not only housekeeping. Okay, but along with the cleaning, we are doing the inspection. For example, when we wash our car in the morning, let's say for example, so we are not only washing the car, but we observe a lot of things. We check the tire pressure, we check the oil levels, the water levels. Okay, we check the wipers are proper or not. So all this stuff we check, and that is very important. So that our breakdown can be eliminated, breakdown can be avoided, right? So shining does not mean only cleaning. It can save a lot of time which would have gone in the breakdowns or some safety incident. So while cleaning, now let's say there is a machine operator. That machine operator cleans the area. While cleaning the area, the person can hear certain abnormal noises, some oil spillage, etc., which can be immediately repaired. Okay, so that a bigger catastrophe, a bigger problem could have been eliminated or avoided. Okay, so this is the objective of the shine. Then comes the standardization. Okay, once you follow these three principles, okay, sort and set in order and shine, then comes the standardization where you standardize the procedures and practices, okay, and make it habituated. Okay, then you make the what do you say? Make the responsible person that this person is responsible for this area. Okay, you designate the person, designate that area, and you make the what you can say standard operating procedure. You make the record sheets, etc., so that people can start doing. So you standardize the system like this, and then you need to sustain it by using audit system. Okay, now how do you audit? There are various ways you can do audit, but audit meaning just to make sure the system, whatever we have established, has been running or not. For example, there is something called layered audit. Okay, what is that layered audit? Layered audit. What is layered audit? Layer meaning one above another, right? For example, if let's say there is a machine, so the person who is operating the machine should inspect this 5S. Okay, yes, layering. So inspect this 5S system like cleaning, etc., every day. So it will be a daily by the workman. Then the supervisor of that machine will do it weekly. Okay, the manager of the department will do it monthly. The head of the department will do it quarterly. Maybe CEO can do it once in a year. And this is called layered audit. So it is layered one by one. According to the hierarchy, you can set up this kinds of frequency so that everybody will be accountable for this. From the CEO to the operator, everybody will be accountable on this. And it is their duty to check and take corrective preventive measures for that. Okay. And this is called a 5S system. Very, very powerful system. How many of you have 5S system in your company? Just type me in the chat box. So standardize is nothing but, so I'll go to standardize. Standardize is nothing but, first, standardized SOPs have to be written, right? SOPs we know, correct? And the practices, making them into habit just to prevent backsliding. Okay. So we decide, let's say we make the standard operating procedure, how this cleaning has to be done, how the inspection has to be done, how to keep the material, data, files, etc., etc. So we standardize it, we demarcate it, okay, and then we basically do this. Okay, this is called standardization. Clear? Yes, SOP basically. Yes. So we standardize it. Yeah. Superb, superb. Now the another one is called mistake proofing or pokayoke. Okay, what is mistake proofing or pokayoke? Very important. Now let's say when we enter into our office lift or our society lift, when we are going inside or we are coming outside, then what you can say, you observe that the door does not close. Correct? The door does not close. What happens there? There are some sensors which avoid that door to close. Even in metros also, you can say, whenever the person are going, the door does not close. Okay, unless and until there is movement is completely stopped. Then only the automatic doors will close. Correct? Apart from that, where have you seen similar kind of mistake proofing system? Now, see, earlier when this was invented, okay, of course, this is a Japanese method. It was called as a foolproof system. How many of you have heard about foolproof system? Just type me in the chat box. Have you heard about a foolproof system? पहले हम लोग बोलते थे ये बिल्कुल आप चिंता मत करिए, it's a foolproof system. Have you heard about foolproof system? Just give me yes in the chat box. Yes? बिल्कुल foolproof है sir, don't worry. Okay. Now what is the spelling of foolproof? We assume that the spelling of foolproof is this. Correct? We assume that, but actual spelling of the foolproof is this. Foolproof, F-O-O-L, fool. Fool meaning the people who are using it, they consider them as fools. Okay. And fools will always make the mistake. So design a system such that even fools can use it. And that is called as a foolproof system. Yeah. So Suman says, oh no. Okay, so this was the original meaning of it. Then people used to get offended with it. That's why they changed it to mistake proofing, okay, or pokayoke. All right. Earlier it was foolproof, so they removed calling it as a foolproof. Nowadays, you don't hear this word foolproof system nowadays. Okay, earlier we used to hear this word foolproof. Now tell me, along with this door closing, this is one example. Can you give me a couple of examples of mistake proofings which you have seen in your company or in general also? Can you just give me one example? Just type one example. In general also you can. Yeah, photo sensor. Very good. Photo sensors are very nice examples. What else? What else? Hand dryer. Okay, very good. Hand dryer. What else? Yeah, hand dryer. Exactly what is the mechanism which triggers in hand drying, etc. If you can give some idea? Or access control also is a foolproof system. No? If you are not the authorized person, that door will not open. Yes or no? Correct? Limit switch. When we show the palm, yes, very good. When we show the palm, it actually starts drying, right? Very good. And we take off, it stops. Very nice. Limit switch and rubber bell cutter. Okay. Super. Fingerprint. Yes, fingerprint B. That is also mistake proofing, which is our this one. Yeah, traffic light signals also. Yes. Now we don't have to rely on the traffic police. The traffic light itself automatically, manages the system. Okay. Yeah, water tap. Yes. In airport, etc. Also, you can see, in our offices also, we have this water tap where sensor is mounted. If you place your hand in front of the sensor, it will start. If you place it out, it will stop. Right? Super. So these are some of the tools, guys, which are used in, uh, you know, in the lean methods. Okay. Now, everybody remembers Scamper. Just give me yes in the chat box. Scamper सबको याद है? येलो बेल्ट में भी कवर कर किया था हम लोगों ने. Yes. Substitute, combine, adapt, modify. Remember that? Household socket. Yes, household socket भी एक अच्छा idea. Yes. How many of you remember Scamper? Just give me yes in the chat box. And if you don't remember Scamper, just give me no in the chat box. दोनों भी दीजिए. Yes and no both. Yeah, I'll just give you that Scamper wala. Okay. A lot of people remember, some of you not remembering, but doesn't matter. I'll share my screen. So what is Scamper? Scamper is a it is right. So Scamper is nothing but it's a short form of substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to other use. So substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put to other use, eliminate, and rearrange. Where so we are in the improve phase, right? So in the improve phase, basically, so the lean tools I have covered. Now these are some of the Six Sigma tools which we use in the improve phase. Scamper is one of the very powerful one, which is basically coming from design thinking. Okay, design thinking. Okay, so this Scamper is basically question. These are the triggering questions. For example, let's say substitute is a trigger word. So for that particular root cause, okay, where we are finding out the solution, we find out a substituting solution for that. If you remember, I speak about in the yellow belt, I speak about the lockdown situation. When the lockdown happened, when we all were locked down in our respective residences, let's say as a Lean Six Sigma practitioner, we could not travel to the client's place. Okay, so our business got impacted because of that. So we did the Scamper analysis. Okay, so what could be the substitute for travel? Type in chat box. What could be the substitute for travel? In that case, what could give the substitution to the travel? Very good. So correct. It's a digital connect, online classes, like platforms like Zoom, like we got connected during COVID. After that only, correct? So substitute meaning we can physical travel can be substituted by online. Without physically traveling, we are still imparting the training. We are still giving the training, coaching, consulting to the client remotely by using online. Okay, this was one of the example. Let's say combine ka example. Uh, the same example I give in the yellow belt session. The example is, let's say I drive a SUV car, which is very heavy SUV car, which is run by petrol. It's a petrol driven SUV car and it consumes a lot of petrol. My fuel cost is going very high. So what can we do to reduce the fuel cost? What can be the substitute to that? What what can we combine to reduce the cost? Can you just give me some idea? What can I adapt? What can I modify? Just give me some ideas. Okay, very good. Instead of petrol, I can substitute to CNG or I can go for EV, electric vehicle. Correct? What can I combine? What can I combine? I can combine travel of two people, three people, like carpooling instead of traveling alone. I can do carpooling, correct? Or I can substitute a fuel efficient vehicle if only one person is traveling. Why do I need a big SUV car, right? I can better travel by a smaller car, which will be more fuel efficient, which will be lightweight car, correct? Then, then we have the adapt. Adapt meaning what can I adapt? Maybe I can adapt the public transportation like metro rather than going in the traffic driving all the way through. I can adapt metros, okay, or the AC buses like that, so that that the fuel cost can be brought down. Clear? Eh? So this is how the scamper basically triggers us to generate idea, generate solutions. See, in the traditional way of brainstorming, we randomly generate ideas, but with the help of Scamper, we generate ideas systematically, substitute, combine, adapt. And so these trigger words give us the direction to think in that direction. Okay, give us some direction. That's the whole idea. Clear? Scamper clear here? With this few examples. Just give me a in chat box. Correct? Now see, and I would highly recommend you guys should start using chat GPT AI tools as well, okay? Scamper भी chat GPT के साथ कर सकते हो. Give all the feedback to GPT and ask them to perform Scamper, generate ideas for you. Okay, that also you can do. Okay, now here is so see, once you generate ideas, no, then let me just go back to my whiteboard. Then one very important tool comes into picture. It is called as EB matrix. What is that? EB matrix, which is called effort benefit matrix. EB matrix or effort benefit matrix. What is the effort benefit matrix? Just try to understand this. Okay. Imagine we have, with the help of Scamper and the brainstorming, we have list of the solutions and ideas with us. Now, all the ideas cannot be implemented. That's the reason we will we will prioritize certain specific ideas. And for that, we have EB matrix. You know, what is EB matrix? Is effort benefit matrix. So in this, what we do is we write down the root causes. No, so not root causes. We write down the solution. Let me remove this. So we write down the ideas and solutions, first of all. So here are the solutions. Then see what I have done is I have made this EB matrix very simple. I've just made a simplified version of EB matrix, which I'm explaining it to you. You also can follow the same simplified version. Benefit. Okay. Now, there are various types of solution. Okay. When I say effort, what do I mean by that? Just listen to me very carefully. When I say effort, I mean effort meaning effort to implement the solution. Let me ask you one question. Okay. Let's say a quick awareness training program to your department team members for 15 minutes. Is the effort high or effort low? Type high or low in the chat box. Giving 15 minutes awareness training program to your department team member. Is it low effort or high effort activity? Everybody. 15 minute का training program देना, awareness training program देना. Is it a high activity, high effort activity or low effort activity? Low effort activity, right? Very good. Generally 15 मिनट का ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम देना लो एफर्ट एक्टिविटी ना, सिंपल. नाउ what if automation of the entire process, is it a high effort activity or a low effort activity? Automation of the entire process, high effort or low effort activity? Very good, very good. So generally high effort. Effort meaning what? How much time do we require? How much money do we require? How much manpower do we require to take the, implement that activity? So this all considers effort. So what I have done, actual original effort benefit analysis, there is a rating on the scale of 1 to 10 we give. Original. But what I have modified, this is completely my creation, instead of that, I only give high and low and make it very simple. Clear? So like for example, giving training. I'm just giving you example here. Giving training. Okay, which is, let's say, low effort, or maybe benefit also you will get low. Now, on the other side, benefit meaning what? What advantage you will get if you implement that particular activity. Okay, that is called a benefit to your project, to your problem. Okay, is how much impact that problem will get, how much solution you are going to get because of that. Okay, so this is how low effort and low benefit activity. Some activity, let's say I give it, give this one. Okay, let's say second solution could be a low effort but high benefit. Possible? Low effort, yes, the Y improvement, exactly. Some activities are low effort, but the benefit would be very high. Okay, for example, a small change in the parameter setting, but you get lot of consistency in the quality. A small effort, but a huge benefit. Are you understanding? Just type yes in the chat box. Okay, a small effort you have taken, but uska advantage aapko bahut zyada mila. So some solutions would be in that category. Okay, third category would be, so the third category would be high effort and high benefit. Like for example, high effort and high benefit, like automation. Lot of lot of capital expenditure also would be required, lot of time also would be required, but ultimately you would get huge benefit out of it. It is called high effort, high benefit. And the fourth example would be high effort but the low benefit. Sometimes this also happens, you take huge efforts, but at the end of it, benefits बहुत ही कम होते हैं, right? So generally, I have made these four simple categories: low effort, low benefit; low effort, high benefit; high effort, high benefit; high effort, low benefits. Clear? Everybody, just give me yes in the chat box. यहाँ तक everybody with me? Super clear, everybody? Very good, very good. Now let's put it in a graph. Okay. So on the x-axis, there are efforts, and on the y-axis, there are benefits. Okay. Now, the first category would come here, somewhere here, which are called low effort, low benefit. And these solutions are called as just do it solution. Make a note of this. These solutions are called as just do it solutions. Just do it. Okay. The second category would fall here, where the low effort and high benefit you'll get. These are the most important solutions, and we call them as must do it solutions. So first one are just do it. The second ones are must do it. Okay. The third category would fall somewhere here, where high effort and high benefits are there. Okay. Now these solutions, we need to take it to the management for approval, because बहुत पैसा लगेगा, investment लगेगा, capital expenditure लगेगा, capex लगेगा. So we go for the approval. If they approve this, we will implement it. If they don't approve this, we'll reject it. Okay. And the fourth solutions are high effort and low benefit. We have to reject these ideas. Eliminate these ideas. Yes, calculation of the return on investment, etc. करके पूरा. Are you clear with this? Just give me a in the chat box. So these are the four categories. Now, the first category we will implement. Okay, second category. First and the second we will implement. I'll type here. First we'll implement, second we'll implement, third on approval we will implement, and the fourth we will reject. This is how this effort benefit analysis. So what is the advantage? If we have multiple ideas and solutions, we can bring it down to manageable thing. Okay. A reject fourth category meaning where efforts are very high. For example, for example, let's say expenditure, capital expenditure is, let's say, 2 crore rupees of capital expenditure is there. But once you calculate the return on investment, okay, that term comes to be, let's say, 10 years or 15 years. Okay. So so it will take huge time to get yourself, your, what is that? That point where you are achieving your goal, where you are hitting the right spot, right? So return on investment time, if you calculate, is not matching with that. So those kinds of solutions, see, compared to the efforts, the benefits are not huge. Those kinds of solutions we have to reject. That's the idea. Okay, yeah, 3 to 5 years or more than that. Then those kinds of things have to be eliminated. Clear? And this is called effort benefit analysis. Once effort benefit is done, then see, there is another option given in your curriculum that is called as I'll just make disappear. Super. So another one is called as N by 3 method as well. Okay, N by 3 method. This is another method which is given in your curriculum. That's what I'm covering. N by 3 method. You can just, so where N is equal to number of solutions, number of ideas or solutions. Okay. And 3, so you divide the N divided by 3. So let's say whatever N by 3 number comes, those many votes you have to cast, every person. I'll give you example of this. Okay. So first, let's say you have solution 1, solution 2, solution 3, solution 4, solution 5, and let's say solution 6. Imagine you have 6 solutions. Okay. So N is equal to 6. Now, let's say there are 5 team members, A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. In our project, we have team members, right? Our project team members. So N by 3 meaning 6 by 3, that is equal to 2. So every person will get 2 votes to be casted. Okay. For example, so A will come and give vote for first solution and the third solution. B will come, give vote to first solution and second solution. C will come, give vote to first solution and second solution. D will come, first solution and maybe third solution. E will come and give this and maybe C6, A6. Okay. So then we have to count how many votes are there for each and every solution. So you can see for solution number 1, we have 4 votes, 3 votes, 2 votes, and 1 vote. So out of 6, maybe we can select these votes, rest of the votes. So here this S4 is 0 and this one is 0. So we can eliminate these 3 solutions and we can take these 3 solutions. Clear? This is called as N by 3 method. So N is number of solutions and you divide by 3 and those many votes you get, and then you give your vote that which solution we can opt for. Okay, this is also one simple method which is given. See, overall idea is to reduce the number of ideas and make them manageable. See, we cannot implement 50 ideas, right, in the project, but we should be able to manage 10, 15 ideas and we should be able to implement it. Clear, everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. It's called N by 3 method. Okay. Now, once the ideas have been finalized, then we go to the action plan making. Okay. What is action plan? Yeah. Yeah. Saket ji, मैं फिर से एक बार बताता हूं. Just have a look at this. So N by 3 meaning, no, there is no statistical logic behind it. Only thing is that the number of solutions which we cannot, implement all, we have to reduce. So effort, benefit, and N by 3 are basically objected towards the this one. Okay, reducing the number of solution. That's it. That's the only. There is no statistics behind it. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what is the last line I said? So have you understood this process of N by 3? Saket ji, just give me yes in the chat box. N by 3 का process आपको समझ में आया? Okay. So what was the last line I said? So the idea is to reduce the number of solutions so that it becomes the manageable, and then we can go for the whatever is selected either by. So you have to either use n by 3 or use effort benefit. Okay, I would highly recommend effort benefit is a better option than n by 3 method. So go for effort benefit. Whatever comes in that effort benefit analysis, then you make a action plan of that. Okay, yes, that's all. So after that we go for the action plan preparation. Now, what is action plan preparation? In the action plan preparation, what we do is we identify the solutions. So the solutions have to be broken down into activities. And for each activity, there is an accountable person and a target date of completion, and then the status you have to update. Okay. So for example, let's take an example that you want to provide a, let's say, Lean Six Sigma training. Okay. So LSS, Lean Six Sigma training from SNG to be arranged. Okay, this is a solution that, yes, if we can implement Lean Six Sigma, a lot of things can be improved. Okay, so what we do is we break down this solution into activities. What are the activities? So first of all, first activity is contact SNG. Then ask for quotation. Then take comparative quotes. Then your comparative analysis. So all these activities basically, accountability, let's say A will be accountable for this, B will be accountable, C will be accountable. So A will be doing this by 20th of July. B will be doing this by 25th of July. So we'll, for each and every activity, we make the accountability and then we update the status accordingly. And this is called the action plan. So what is the major 2-3 parts of action plan? First is breaking down the solution into activities. Okay. And then for each and every activity, the accountability has to be given. And those people, okay, the project people only will be accountable. Each and every activity has to be implemented through them only. Okay. That's why we need project team members to collect the data, to do the brainstorming, implement the solutions. Okay, all these things, their participation is very, very important. And then the target date of completion has to be given. Okay, so this is called the action plan. Once we start implementing action plan, then we start getting the results. Okay, so we implement lean tools, we implement Six Sigma tools, and we start getting some results. Okay, and that is where we start implementing control phase. Okay, so what we'll do, are you clear, everybody? Whatever we have covered since last almost 1.5 hours, is it clear to you? Just give me yes in the chat box so that we can move to the next phase called control phase. But before that, we'll take a small break of 8 to 9 minutes. Yes, it's 8:21 right now, 22 almost. We'll be back at 8:30 sharp. Okay, we'll come back at 8:30 sharp, right? 9 minutes है अभी भी. ठीक है. चलो उसके बाद में I will cover I will talk about the offer today, and then I will talk about the control phase. Okay, yeah, all the best. Okay, if you're back on your seat, just give me, I'm back. Yes, Anuj, I'll just touch upon this push system wala topic, okay? Yeah, everybody just type I'm back in the chat so that it will give me the confirmation that you guys are back on your seat and ready to go to the next level. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the confirmations from the people. Super. All right. So let me just quickly talk about, see, the push system and the pull system are, see, traditionally what used to happen is our traditional system works on the push system traditionally. Okay. What is push system? Just try to understand this. Um, our sales department, marketing department would assume certain things. Okay, let's say for example, earlier, nowadays a lot of data and analytics, everything is there. We can predict. Okay, but earlier that those things were not there, were not available. Okay, so lot of decision making used to happen on opinions and the gut feelings. Okay, that this year our sale can go 10% more. Okay, like that. So they used to take reference of the last year performance, last quarter performance, and then used to perform, and they used to set the target. Okay, this year our target would be this, but there was no concrete basis on which that used to happen. Okay, so when you have a system which itself is starting from the prediction, which is a kind of a baseless prediction that this year these many orders would come. Okay, but there is no concrete evidence, there is no concrete thing. Of course, there would be some, but not every time. Okay, yeah, on the basis of market surveys, etc. Now that used to trigger. Okay, now if let's say you decide that this year we will make 10,000 metric ton production. Okay, but the real order comes to 8,000. Then what will happen is whatever you have made extra will stay in your warehouses. Are you understanding? And this is the basically the push systems, what you can say, challenges. Okay, so push system always used to have these kinds of challenges associated with it. See, when these Toyota people went to Ford in US, they checked the Ford system. So Ford automobile was basically worked in a push system mechanism. Okay, so they used to make huge inventory of the materials to dump that inventory of the vehicles in the markets, and they used to pressurize the sales team to sell it. That's a push system. They're pushing it down the throat of the customer, down the throat of the market. But on the way back, okay, so they understood the system, the Toyota people. On the way back, they happened to visit a supermarket. That's where in the supermarket they observed that somebody was picking the material from the shelf, and that material, that let's say that packet, is getting replenished from the back end process. And this was the pull system, and they understood the pull system, and then they went back to Toyota and they implemented that pull system in one of their department. And from there, this entire pull system actually got implemented in the industry, especially automotive and in manufacturing. Okay, so push system is starting your process with the predictions from the marketing team, etc. And pull system triggers from the actual sales which happens on the market. Then only the backend process triggers. So this is the fundamental thing. So push system, you have a lot of inventories, lot of hit and misses. In the pull system, you will only act when and only when you have a concrete order in your hand. Then only you act on that. So that's the fundamental differences between push and pull system. So lean propagates the pull system, and that's where basically we also run. All these systems are basically a pull system, just to reduce the lead time, reduce the inventory levels. It's a different, altogether different thinking process, paradigm, I would say. Okay. Super. So before I go to the control phase, I have a very important announcement to be made right now. So yeah, I think I should resume. All right. So let me take a few minutes of yours just to discuss something very important. Okay. And what is that? That is something like, yes, let me just share my screen, and where is my screen? Oh, here we go. Super. All right. So here we go. The question to you people is, everybody is aware of the 40% referral bonus scheme. Just give me yes or no in the chat box. Are you aware of this scheme? Just give me yes or no in the chat box. Everybody. Anybody does not know about it, let me know that, no, I don't know about this. What is this? Please let me know. Yes, everybody's clear? Very simple. If you refer to your friend, colleague, family member, anybody, you get 40% of that. Okay. It is for the green belt and black belt. Generally, we charge 10,000 for GST. Shankarji. Okay. If you refer your colleagues, family members, friends, etc., your neighbors, whoever, okay, that if you are doing this and you are getting some advantage, you're learning some new concepts, etc., and you help them also to get certified through us, through SNG, the moment they take admission, within couple of days, you get 4,000 rupees credited, which is 40% of that. Okay. If they take, now this is only for the first admission, understand this. Okay. Whatever first admission they are taking, that is, this offer will be valid on that. Okay, clear? Very simple. You just have to give the name of the person in advance. You can directly, this one. No, for green belt is not available. Only for green and black combination, this will be applicable. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you have the 5, 4, 8, okay. If you have the person available, just send the name on our mentor number. Okay, and then we will share with you the this one. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Manoj, you've got the bonus as well, or not yet received? Just give me yes or no in the chat box. Have they upgraded? Have they enrolled and you got a referral bonus as well? Just give me yes. Okay, they have not yet. Okay, you've just referred and not yet enrolled, is it? Yeah. So can you just push them now? There are two options. One is they can directly take the admission. Second is you can ask them to, attend our yellow belt session on Sunday. So these are two options you have. You can do that. The moment you just send a message, send the name in advance. That's the only thing you need to do. Just send the name in advance and we will be there to support you. Okay. Yes. Super. Now, why this is very, very important for us to upgrade, because Warren Buffett always says this is the best investment. Once this question was asked to Warren Buffett that according to you, sir, what is the best investment? And the person who asked the question was expecting, some stocks, some bonds, some tip, okay, or which commodity from this master. But Warren Buffett says the best investment you can make is the investment in yourself, not in stock, not in bond, because whatever skill, that's what I always say this, whatever, your company position, your salary, your whatever, okay, everything can be lost. But your skill which has been developed, the education level, the skill will remain with you. That's your asset. How many of you agree with this statement of Warren Buffett and the point which I'm driving, just like me in the chat box? How many of you agree with you? And more you learn, more you can earn. And now, because this is the time of upgradation, okay, everybody has to upgrade. Everybody, no doubt. I am also upgrading myself. Okay, we are also bringing AI, etc. I'm in discussion with CSSC nowadays that how we can bring AI more into this Lean Six Sigma method. Understand this? Okay. Now, why I am, if you remember during yellow belt session, if you remember, if some of you have attended the yellow belt session recently, I always share some of the photographs like this. One of the photograph is this. Okay. What is the secret of this photograph? You know what? These people are my students. This is Owens Corning, which is a multinational company basically. They have their factory near near Mumbai. These people are my students, but before that, some of them were my bosses, some of them, and all of them are my colleagues. Okay. Once upon a time, I used to work with them. Now I became the trainer and consultant in Lean Six Sigma. I'm giving training to them. It's a very a different what you can say emotion altogether. Giving training to your own colleagues, your own people, and bringing them to the next level. Okay, so we have been doing this for a very long time now. And once upon a time, you can see here these people, these training programs. Once upon a time, I used to take the salary slip from the company. You can see it is a sales purchase, service purchase order. Now, why I'm showing you this? Because I'll show you a couple of things. Now, look at this. This is a company called Caprions, and you can see here 15 lakh rupees purchase order. Okay, of Lean Six Sigma SNG ka hai. And there is another factory they have. So they have one factory in Thane, one factory in Nasik. Okay, so Nasik is a bigger factory. Thane is a smaller factory. So you can see here 11 lakh rupees ka training and consulting project. So why I'm showing you, because these are the repetitive orders we are getting. Okay, and okay, now this graph which was shown in the yellow belt, which was this was from Caprions. I just wanted to mention this. Okay, now plus in the consulting projects, if you remember, I spoke about this port and special economic zone. How many of you remember these numbers and slides which I show at the end of the session? Just type yes in the chat box if you remember that. Just give me yes. So this is a training, this one, etc. Correct? Yeah, yellow belt में हम लोग दिखाते हैं. Correct? Why this we show? Because once you become qualified, you can start using your consulting knowledge and help the businesses as well. Okay, and you can get some financial benefits as well. For example, look at this. Master black belt get 39 lakh rupees per annum base salary, average base salary in India. Okay, which company, plus you get 4.5 lakh rupees additional cost cash component because you do a lot of projects, etc. You handhold a lot of projects. So which company's data basically has been taken? Amazon, Genpact, WNS. Now, of course, there are other companies as well. If you go to Google and if you go to naukri.com, you will find out master black belt jobs availability. You will find a lot of jobs available. You can see here 9,500 jobs where master black belt is required. Okay, so you can check out that now. Okay, so there is a special, why I'm telling you this, because if you want to start your own consulting business, okay, there are two options we have. One is the master black belt upgrade. Okay, now the master black belt is 75,000 plus GST, which is the average market price you can see. And at SNG, we provide at 30,000 plus GST, including green black. Okay, but today and up to 6th of 6th of July, right? This offer is for the green and black belt paid people. You can upgrade to master black belt only at 9,999 plus GST. And the people who are upgrading themselves, listen to me very carefully, the people who are upgrading themselves before 6th of July, they are entitled to get the lifetime membership of SNG. Okay, are you clear with this offer? Just give me a in the chat box. Let me just share that link with you if you wish to upgrade right now. I'm just giving you that link in your chat. This is the link. You can click on the link, and similar to your green belt and black belt, you can upgrade and become the lifetime member of SNG. Okay, see, master black belt is the highest level of qualification, and we have made it super affordable for a very limited time. So bring this, take this advantage of this, okay, and come on board, become master black. If you want to start your own consulting business in your future, etc., then master black belt qualification is a must for that. Are you clear? See, black belt से भी आप शुरू कर सकते हो, ऐसा नहीं है नहीं कर सकते, but it is just like, if a choice is given between an MBBS doctor and an MS doctor or MD doctor, people will go for the MS or MD doctor because they are more expert in that field. Okay, so that's the only difference between a black belt and a master black belt trainer or consultant. Okay, are you clear? You can click on the link, make the payment, come on board. Let me know that payment is done. I'm lifetime member of SNG now. Okay, and I will announce your name and welcome you in this in this beautiful community of MBBs. Okay, everybody clear with this offer? Just give me a so. Referral bonus offer and MBB offer up to 6th of July. This is only up to 6th of July. Okay. This is including GST, no, Ramanuji. Same like our green belt, black belt, same hai. Yeah, GST included and you will get the GST invoice, etc. Okay. Yeah, clear hai everybody with this? Just give me a in the chat box. Super clear. So that I have announced another announcement as well. Clear? Very good. Super. Yeah. Once you make the payment, just let me know in the chat box. I will announce your name and I will welcome you in this. Okay. Now the third announcement of the evening is this. Okay. Now we have the people who want to upskill themselves for and launch their own consulting business. Okay. And if you are very serious, there is some investment in consulting business. There are two packages generally we have. One package is about 3 lakh rupees plus GST. Second package is 1 lakh rupees plus GST. Now, these two packages basically will help you to launch yourself in a very short span of time, maybe 6 months down the line, you can start your own training and consulting business. Okay. Now, if you are interested in investing in your own self and want to become a trainer and consultant professionally, then please fill this form which I have given to you. Okay. This is, and if you're very serious about it, okay, then the shortlisted people, so our office will give you a call. And if you are qualified for that, then we will have a one-on-one for 40 to 45 minutes, where I will give you the entire plan in front of you, all the business model, basically. Okay. See, up to Master Black Belt, we are learning about Lean Six Sigma. Our skill building is happening. Now, if you want to do a business of Lean Six Sigma training and consulting, then other skill sets have to be adopted. And those skill sets will be taught in this. All right. So this is a form. If you are interested, you can just fill this form. Our team will call you, qualify you. Once you are qualified, then you can have a one-on-one conversation with me. If you like the idea, if you get convinced with that, you can upgrade in that. Clear, everybody? All the three announcements are clear. Just give me a in the chat box. So first is the referral bonus. Second is the Master Black Belt announcement, which is 9999 plus GST up to 6th of July. Okay, Sunday, 6th of July is the last cutoff date. Once, if you upgrade yourself, then, you will become the lifetime member as well. Okay. Then after that, it will go back to the original pricing of that 30K, including green, black and master black belt. Okay. But now this is only 9999 plus GST. Please grab this opportunity with both hands. All right. Now, and the third one is, if you are committed to start your own business and consulting business, then click on the link, fill this form of this, and our team will communicate. A lot of interviews have already happened and a lot of people have come on boarded with that. Okay. Clear, everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box so that I can proceed further. Yes, Venkatesh ji, आपका पेमेंट आ चुका है. Congratulations. Super. See, जिन्होंने पेमेंट किया है, just type payment in the chat box so that I can, Okay, Ramanuj ji also. Team, can you just confirm Ramanuj ji का भी पेमेंट? वेंकटेश जी का आ चुका है. रामानुज जी का भी पेमेंट एक बार कंफर्म करिए टीम. Super. So you will get the automated access. Okay. Everything remains same, just like our black belt curriculum. You can complete this master black belt within maybe 2 months time is good enough for you to complete this MBB. Okay. Yes, super. Now, the people who are making the payment, please let me know. All right. See, it might skip from your mind, right? If you are committed, if you have already decided to grab this opportunity, I would rather, okay, अच्छे काम में देरी नहीं करनी चाहिए. Okay, today is a good day. Make yourself committed and make the payment and come to the other side of, the spectrum. All right. I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much for patiently listening to these 3 announcements. Now I'm going back to the last phase of the evening, which is called control phase. Are you ready for this? हाँ, महेश जी का भी एक बार चेक करिए, महेश जी का भी पेमेंट आया है क्या? महेश जी ने भी कंफर्म किया है पेमेंट. Just a second, let me just. Okay, guys, you can complete your payment. Meanwhile, let me start my control phase. Okay. Super. Now, what is the control phase? The objective of control phase is all about sustaining whatever improvements we have achieved. That's the objective of control phase. Okay. Now, in the control phase, what we do is we monitor and control. But what do we monitor and what do we control? Is this. In the control phase, we monitor Y and we control X. Okay. हाँ, वेंकटेश जी, रामानुज जी एंड महेश सिंह राठौड़ जी, आपका तीनों का भी पेमेंट आ चुका है. कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस, वेलकम ऑन बोर्ड. ओके, कंफर्मेशन मेरी टीम ने दे दिया है. सुपर. ओके, so everybody is aware of y is equal to function of x, right? Y is equal to function of x. Everybody knows this, correct? So where y is my output, so we'll monitor our output and we will control our input. And how do we do that? That is what is all about. We do it in the control phase. Clear? Monitoring the y and controlling the x is the ultimate objective of control phase. Clear hai everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. Super clear. Now, let me show you this graph. In this graph, imagine this is your process. Let's say your process is going like this. Now here we start the project. Okay. And then we find some improvement here and we reach here. Okay. Earlier we are here. Now we have reached here. So with some improvement. Now, if the control phase, if we do not control it properly, if we do not maintain it properly, then it can crash down like this and go back to the square one. If we make the control phase properly, then we can sustain the improvement for a very long time. Okay, understand this. So this trajectory can be maintained. Otherwise, it can go back. So this is an intervention point of control phase. See, a lot of people make a huge mistake of taking the control phase lightly. And that's a big mistake they make. Right? So what basically we need to do in the control phase is this. So I'll give you a process control plan. Okay. What is process control plan? It looks like this. I'll give you straight. Okay. Now this is called a process control plan. थोड़ा सा read करने में थोड़ा सा difficult है, but let me just this is the name of the process, the owner of the process, etc., etc. What is important is this table. Okay. Here, if you remember SIPOC, we have studied SIPOC, right? SIPOC, SIPOC. In that, whatever processes are there in this column called process, if you remember that, so all those process steps we will write down over here. From the SIPOC, we will copy and paste all the process steps here. Then we have to monitor. Let's say, for example, our project is of, let's say, let's say production, for example. Okay. So Y is my production activity. So this is my metric. Is it my X? X is the input and Y is the output, right? So let's say production is Y. Unit of measurement is, let's say, metric ton. Okay. Who will record? Now, who will record everyday production? Let's say I will write Ajay will record everyday production. Okay. Now, how often it will be recorded? Maybe I will write daily. It will be recorded daily. Now, what is the chart type? Now, this is very interesting. There are control charts. Yesterday we have studied control chart, the stability test, right? So there are various types of control chart. After this, I'm going to explain you various types of control charts. So let's say in this case, I'm going to use I chart, which is individual control chart. Okay. Now, then what to respond? This is called what to respond. What to respond meaning, for example, if the production goes below 75% of the target, okay, so I will write if below 75%, I'm just giving you example, huh? You have to decide your own line in which you have to, what you can say, you have to basically respond. Are you clear? So these response teams are also there, no? So similarly, this is a response team. If the production goes below 75% from the target, immediately will respond. So who will respond? So Ajay basically, so maybe there would be a person called Sanjay. So Sanjay will take action. What he will do? He will call for a meeting immediately. That why there is a drop in the production numbers, what are the reasons, and then he will find out, give his minutes of meeting, comments, and the solutions, action, the kappa, whatever they have decided, that will be written in the comment section. Okay, this is called the process control plan for the output variable. Now, this plan mentioned in the process name or project name. This is now see, the process name is which process basically we are in. Okay, so generally this is the process name, and that's why the process steps in the first column are written. That's why it is called a process name, and it's called a process control chart because now we are controlling the process. Okay, the project is kind of done now. We have already improved it. Now we have to maintain it. We have to sustain it. That's where this chart comes into picture. Now let's say second is there is one of the process step is, let's say, temperature. I'm just giving you a very simple example. So process number step number 2 is maintain the temperature. So this is one of the X, which is very, very important, which is one of the X. X is the input variable. And the temperature ka unit of measurement is degree centigrade. Who will respond? Let's say Samir. Okay, Samir will check the temperature every day. So how frequently? Maybe daily he will do it. And which chart he will use? Maybe X bar R chart will be used. Now I will explain you what is X bar R chart, etc. What he will respond if temperature goes. So let's say temperature is between 50 degree plus and minus 5 degree centigrade. If any deviation, immediately Samir will take action. So who will respond? Let's say again Sanjay will respond. Maybe Sanjay is a manager there, and he will call the maintenance people. If any fluctuation up, above, and below that 50 plus and minus 5 degree centigrade is observed, then Sanjay will immediately call the maintenance person, and immediately maintenance person will do the action and the comments, what actions they have taken, what analysis they have done, that will be written here. Okay, so for each and every Y and X, we will have a very stringent monitoring system over there. So any deviation, any fluctuation, immediately will take action, make sure that all the factors, X's will be in the control. And if all the X's are kept in control, then our output can be kept in control. Are you clear with this? And this is called a process control plan. Are you clear? So for all the X's, you have to write each and every step like this. Clear hai? Just give me yes in the chat box. Everybody, just give me yes. Clear? Yeah, very good question, by the way. Super question, Anuji. How long this monitoring should be there? Generally, for the green belt level, we suggest 3 months to 6 months monitoring. For the green belt level projects, we suggest 3 months to 6 months monitoring. For the black belt level project, 6 months to 12 months monitoring is expected. Clear? For a green belt project, 3 to 6 months, and black belt 6 to 12 months monitoring is expected. Okay. Super. Yeah. Parth, your your payment has failed, I think. Okay, just check in your card. There must be some reason for that. Everybody clear with this? Just give me yes in the chat box. Super clear. Okay. Now let me talk about. हाँ, I'm about to talk about it. Okay. सार्थक जी मैं अभी बताऊंगा ग्रीन बेल्ट का एग्जाम आप कैसे दे सकते हो. ओके, सबको बताऊंगा वंस आई कंप्लीट दिस कंट्रोल चार्ट वाला पार्ट ना. अभी वो लास्ट पार्ट है, वो होने के बाद में एग्जाम के बारे में बताऊंगा. ओके, लेट मी कम टू माय व्हाइट बोर्ड वंस अगेन. ओके, एंड let me talk about something very interesting called control charts. Okay, अब ये control charts के बारे में बात करेंगे. Then we will do some exercises on control charts. Just give me a second. हाँ, पार्थ, यस, डन 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 डन. आपका पेमेंट आ चुका है पार्थ. कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस, वेलकम ऑन बोर्ड फॉर एमबीबी. हाँ, फर्स्ट पेमेंट was bounced, I think. All right, chalo. So let me just clarify this. So आप ऐसा टेबल बनाइए. If you have continuous data, then so I'm talking about the control charts type. Okay, control charts types. So continuous data, we have three major control charts: I chart, X bar R chart, and X bar S chart. If we have discrete data, then we have just make a table like this, which I am making just for your simplified version. Constant sample size and variable sample size. Just make a note of this and I'll explain you this. Okay. Effect and defective. Okay. E chart, U chart, NP chart, and P chart. Everybody, just make this table. If you have continuous data, or take a screenshot of this. If you have continuous data, there are three types of charts you'll come across: I chart, individual chart, which you have already seen yesterday, X bar R chart, and X bar S chart, which I'll explain you right now. If you have discrete data, then we have, if you have constant sample size and variable sample size, and defect and defective, accordingly, you have to take the decision on this. Okay. Now, what is constant sample size and what is variable sample size? मैं समझा रहा हूँ. Example. Let's say, for example, you are a quality person and sometimes you check 10 samples, sometimes you check 15 samples every shift. Just listen to me very carefully. You are a quality person. If you are sometimes checking 10 samples every shift, you sometimes check 15, 12, 13. There is no fixed amount. In that case, it is called variable sample size. Are you clear? So that while checking the quality, you are not fixed. Okay. Your sample size can vary from whatever number. That is called variable sample size. Are you clear? Instead, if you have a fixed sample size, every shift you check 10 samples, no matter what. दुनिया इधर की उधर हो जाए, you will only check 10 samples. That is called constant sample size. Are you clear with both examples? Just give me yes in the chat box. Constant meaning, for checking the quality, you are checking the number of samples constant. That is called constant sample size. And the number of samples are varying. It is called variable sample size. Are you clear with this example? Just give me yes in the chat box. Example से clear है ये? Everybody just give me yes. Yeah. Now coming back to defect and defect. Okay. You remember I gave example of shirt, I think yesterday or day before. How many of you remember? Shirt have one unit, meaning complete unit is called a shirt. Let's say I'm a shirt maker. So that complete unit is a shirt. Okay. And in one shirt, there could be multiple defects can come. Exactly. Now, if I'm counting the number of defective items, defective shirts, I will go for this column. Instead of that, if I'm counting how many defects are there in the shirt, then I will check this column, defect column. Clear hai? So if the data which I'm having is of defect, I will go for this. If the data is of defective, I will go for defective column. Clear? So this is a table you need to just take a screenshot and keep it with you. Clear hai? And we'll go one by one how you can use this graphs. Okay, so eye chart हम लोगों ने कल ही देखा था, if you remember. Now we are going for the remaining part. So first, just download this graph which I have given. Okay, once you have downloaded, let me know. Done करके. Shall I give it to once again? Yes, let me give it to you once again. So the same file I have shared twice. Once you open the file, we will do first continuous chart, I chart, X bar R and X bar S chart. Okay, done. Now this is the same file which we used yesterday, chocolate weight wala file. The same file है ये. ठीक है जी? Same file. एक बार ओपन करने के बाद मुझे बताइए फाइल ओपन. सेम फाइल, नहीं तो फिर आप कल का भी फाइल आप यूज कर सकते हो. इट्स सिंपल. ओके. So yesterday control chart we have done. Remember? Yesterday control chart we have done. Stat control chart, variable chart for individual. Okay, so yesterday we have done that. Then chocolate weight को ये करो and just say okay. And this was the control chart. Remember everybody, ये हम लोग किया था कल. Clear है? Yes. So what is eye chart? If you want to plot each and every graph, each and every dot, each and every reading individually, I for individual. I meaning individual. It is called individual chart. If you want to plot individual charts like this, then this is called eye chart for chocolate weight. Okay. Now let me go back to the X bar R and X bar S chart. Now just look at this. Here, if you consider the C1 as individual data points, then you can go for eye chart. But if you consider a group of samples, then you should go for X bar and R chart. What is X bar and R? X bar stands for mean and R stands for range. Do you remember day second yesterday? We spoke about the mean mode. No, I think day one, right? Mean mode, median, range, variance, standard deviation, right? What is mean? It is the average, correct? And what is range? Highest minus lowest. Everybody remember this? Just give me yes in the chat box. Everybody remember? Just give me yes. So here, X bar R mein, let's consider this sample number 1. The 10 samples, okay? So software will calculate the average of this, the average of all the weights, okay? And plot it in the graph. So there will be two graphs software will calculate. Software will draw two graphs, okay? One is X bar graph and other one is the R graph, okay? So first, let's say X1, which is X1 bar, which is the average of that first 10 samples, and it will be plotted. Okay. Then the software will calculate the range, whatever is the highest and whatever the lowest value of the 10 samples. वो कैलकुलेट करेगा एंड रेंज ग्राफ में वो प्लॉट करेगा. ओके, सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट डॉट. देन द सेकंड सैंपल, you can see here the 10 samples are there. Then this is called x2 bar. Okay, so the average of the second will be plotted here. The range of the second will be plotted here. Are you clear? And then they will connect like this, and then the center line mean, the upper control, lower control will be plotted. Okay, everybody clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. क्लियर है किस प्रकार से ये प्लॉट किया जाता है मैन्युअली? यस. नाउ विद द हेल्प ऑफ सॉफ्टवेयर वी विल डू दिस. ओके, एक्स बार आर चार्ट लेट्स करके देखते हैं. लेट्स गो टू स्टैट कंट्रोल चार्ट. नाउ इंस्टेड ऑफ इंडिविजुअल we'll go for subgroup. Okay, variable chart for subgroup x bar r. Just select x bar r there. Stat control chart variable chart for subgroup. Select x bar r. Here just select chocolate weight in this section and subgroup size में select sample. That's it. Everybody with me? Just type yes in the chat box and click on OK. Everybody got it? This graph, just give me yes in the chat box. Yeah, repeat करता हूं मैं. Okay. Once we are here, go to stat, control chart, variable chart for subgroup x bar r. Stat control chart, variable charts for subgroup and x bar r. Okay. Once click on x bar r. Here you put chocolate weight in this space. Just double click on chocolate weight column. In the subgroup size, select sample and click on OK. And you will get this graph. Got it? Yes, very good. Now this is x bar. For example, this one is x1 bar, which is first 10 chocolates average. This is range 1, R1. Okay. This is second samples average. This is second samples range. This is third sample average. This is third sample range. And similarly, they have completed it. The center line is the average of this. It is called X double bar. Why it is called X double bar? Why it's called X bar bar? What is the reason for this? Any idea? Why X double bar here? And why not X bar? Yes, what could be the reason for this? Exactly. It is the average of averages. It is the mean of the means. Because every data point itself is a mean. And this line is the average of all the averages, right? That's what it's called as X double bar. Okay. Similarly, this is a range chart. Okay, UCL and LCL is calculated. Ultimately, we have to see whether any data point going above and below the control limits. In this case, the process is fairly stable. Clear, everybody? X bar R is clear. Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear hai? Very good. Very good. Yeah. Why R bar is shown? Because it's an average of ranges. That's why it's called R bar. R bar meaning the average of ranges. Okay. Super. Now, let's come to X bar S chart. Now, I'll go back again. Now, what is the difference between X bar R and X bar S? No difference between X bar. X bar remain exactly the same. But instead of range, if we take standard deviation, then it becomes X bar S chart. Okay. Instead of range of the data, if I take the standard deviation of the data, then it will be called as X bar S chart. Okay. So X bar remains exactly the same, the top chart. instead of the range, which is highest to lowest, this software will calculate a standard deviation of the first sample, standard deviation of the second sample, standard deviation of the third sample, and it will be plotted. Okay. Can we do it X bar S chart quickly? Now, when do we use, before that, when do we use X bar R and when do we use X bar S? Now, if the sample size is less than 10, then we go for X bar R. If the sample size is more than 10, then we go for X bar S. Okay. As the number of sample increases, standard deviation is always a better parameter, better statistics to consider than the range. Okay. That's why when it goes beyond 10, we go for X bar S. Okay. If it is less than 10, go for X bar R. Clear, everybody? Let me just show it quickly to you. The same procedure, just follow that. Stat control charts, variable chart for subgroup, just below X bar R is X bar S. The procedure exactly is same. So just select the chocolate weight, the sample size, select sample, say okay. This will be, let me just put it one besides other so that we will be able to compare that. Okay. So this is X bar R. This is X bar S. And we put one. Look at this. If you see here, X bar is exactly same. It is the average. But instead of range, it is the standard deviation of the data set. All right. Clear, everybody? Just give me yes in the chat box. X bar और X bar is clear है? Super clear? Very good, very good. Chalo, so I chart is clear, X bar R is clear, X bar S is clear. Let's go to the discrete control chart. उसके भी एक दो example ले लेते हैं और rather हम लोग चारों example ले लेते हैं. Let's start with the P chart. Okay. Everybody just download this file called example P chart, which I have shared with you. Okay. दो बार शेयर कर रहा हूं. Is second control chart will give more information about data. The second control chart is about the range or the standard deviation, right? So the first one is giving the central tendency. The second one is giving the variability. Okay, yeah, let me just touch upon this point, very important point before we go to the next. Okay, जरा एक यहाँ पे follow करिए. See, we saw since yesterday the central tendency and dispersion, right? So the above graph is basically talking about central tendency. What is central tendency? Mean, mode, median. So this is about the mean, mode, median, right? This is about the mean. And the second chart is talking about the variability of the data. How many of you got this? Just type yes in the chat box. समझ में आया ये? मीन मोड मीडियन के लिए मीन वाला चार्ट है ऊपर वाला एंड रेंज और स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन के लिए नीचे वाला चार्ट है. क्लियर है एवरीबॉडी? दिस डिस्टिंक्शन इज क्लियर विद यू. That's why there are two charts. First is the mean, which is the central tendency chart, and second is the R chart. Okay. Now another catch. Okay. Let me see. Understand this, guys. Understand this. Okay. Let me go to range or standard deviation. Okay. Now tell me, do you want to reduce standard deviation or increase standard deviation? Listen to me very carefully. Do you want to reduce standard deviation? Standard deviation is a measure of variation, right? If you want to reduce standard deviation or increase standard deviation, everybody, you want to reduce? Everybody's clear about it? Our main agenda is to reduce standard deviation, correct? Now, here, if, listen to me very, very carefully. Yeah? If you can understand this, you have cracked this, okay? If the data goes above or below control limits, we have to take action, yes or no? for X bar chart. Everybody with me? We have to investigate and take the action just to bring the process in the center, correct? Process को center में लाना है ना, variation को कम करना है, center में लाना. Yes or no, everybody? Yes or no? Clear है? Yes? Now, same goes with standard deviation. If the standard deviation, let's say, goes above control limits, we have to immediately ask the question why there is a standard deviation spike and immediately take the action and bring it back to the center. Yes? Just give me yes in the chat box. Just give me yes in the chat box. Similarly, if it goes below the lower control limit, okay, then we have to investigate and bring it back to the center. Yes or no? Everybody, yes? Just give me yes, no in the chat box. The answer to that is no. Listen to me very carefully. Okay. X bar तो ठीक है. X bar upper control, lower control limit से बाहर गया. Investigate, bring it to the center. If sigma standard deviation goes above control limit, that means it is increasing. You have to bring it down. Okay. But if it is decreasing, standard deviation decreasing, that is what we want. No. If the standard deviation is dropping down, that is good for us. So don't take any action. How many of you got a bulb on moment here? Just type BO in the chat box. How many of you got a bulb on moment? Just type BO in the chat box. Yes. If standard deviation is going down, that's a good sign. We should not bring it up. When standard deviation bring it up, meaning variation we are increasing. Yes or no? So in this control chart, if X bar R chart, okay. So LCL is lower control limit, upper and lower control limit. Yesterday we discussed, right? So the logic is this. Anything which goes beyond control limit is what? A special variation, correct? That's what we have understood. And we have understood that we have to take the action on that. But in this case, when it comes to variability, don't take any action if it goes below lower control limit, because that is a desirable situation. We have to actually work on that. So, अगर नीचे जा रहे तो जाने दो, it's the best thing. Let it go below. That means the variation is reducing. Okay, understood? Very good. Now coming back to, got it? Very good. Super. Now coming back to your, have you opened that file, the P value, P chart wala file? Just give me yes in the chat box. Okay. इसको बंद कर देता हूँ so that I can open the next one. Okay. हाँ. So P chart open किया है. Now when do we use P chart? When we have defective data and we have variable sample size. Okay. Effective data and variable sample size. Look at this. So there is a data of, there is a school and there are various standards, various classrooms there. The first classroom, we have 50 students and nobody failed in that. Okay. Second classroom, we have 50 students, nobody failed. Third classroom, 60 students, one student failed. 60, one failed, 70. So that means the sample size is different. And, now pass and fail. Understand this. Okay. It is a defective data. That's why we have to select the P chart over here. Okay. We'll do a P chart. Now, interesting hai ye. Just try to understand this. So how do we locate P chart? Go to stat, control chart, attribute chart. Attribute chart meaning the discrete chart actually. Okay. Attribute chart meaning the discrete chart. Just click on P chart. Select pass. And now in the variable, we have to select what? We have to select the pass and fail. That is our variable actually. How many people, how many students have failed? That is the data over there. And subgroup size, you have to select the sample size, which is basically varying. Okay. And just click on OK. Oops. ये क्या हुआ? एक मिनट, just कुछ तो गड़बड़. Let me go back. Just a second. Attribute chart. Okay. मैंने गलत chart select किया. P chart, select the pass and fail, subgroup size में sample size, and click on OK. All right. Now here is the P chart. Now, what is the difference here? The difference here is the control chart, control limits. Okay, control limits are like steps. Why the control limits are like the step? Because the sample size is different. See, understand this. Out of 60 student, one student fail, and out of 80 student, one student fail. There is a difference, no? Even the student is one, absolutely every one student, but out of 61 failed and out of 81 failed, obviously the proportion is different. That's why, because of the sample size are different, then the limits are calculated separately for every data point. Separately limits are calculated. Okay, so you can see here, this is proportion. Okay, these data points are basically proportion. For example, 0 divided by 60 is 0, right? Again, 0 divided by 50 is 0. Then 0 divided by 70 is this number. 0 divided by 70, 1 divided by 70 is this number, whatever. So the proportion numbers are calculated, the average is calculated, and there is a special formula to calculate UCL and LCL. Why the LCL is at 0? Because you cannot have negative number in proportion. Understand this? You cannot have minus a number in the proportion. You cannot have that, right? That's why it is stopping at 0. At the lowest, you can get 0, not below that, right? Just like temperature. Temperature, we can go below 0 as well. But here in this case, in the proportion data, we cannot have the below 0. That's why it is stopping at 0. See, doesn't matter how the graph looks. Ultimately, we have to check whether the process is stable or not. Is the process stable? Just give me yes or no in the chat box. Is the process stable? Just give me yes or no in the chat box. Stable a process? Everybody just give me yes or no. Yes, na, because not a single, no, understand this. Not a single, दो zero को छोड़ दीजिए. वो zero को छोड़ दीजिए. Zero is better, na, basically. Number of failures as zero meaning is better, but not a single data point going above the control limits. Are you understanding? That's why it is called as a stable process. We can say that, yes, the process is stable. If these data points would have gone above or, above this, let's say like this, I will give you that data point as well. Okay. Then this would have been a unstable process. Okay. See, I will give you how to calculate the control chart separately. हम लोग black belt में उसको cover करेंगे. Right now, what you need to do is you need to select the control chart which is applicable, put the data in, and just check any data points are going above or below control limits. That's it. And according to that, you have to take the decision. That's it. Okay. So this is why this is step kind of control chart, because see, I'll go back to the data. Okay. When do we use P chart? We use P chart when the sample sizes are completely different. If the sample sizes would have been same, then our control limits would have been like this. Okay. But the sample sizes are different. That's the reason every sample, the control limits are calculated separately. That's the reason you are getting steps like this. Okay. And because on the lower side, it is stopping at 0 because proportion cannot become less than 0. Okay. That's why it is stopping at 0. Okay, this is how the control limits are set. See, we need not to go into the details of it. What is expected is any data point going above this limit? If no, the data is stable. The process is stable. Clear? Just give me yes in the chat box. Clear hai ye? Just give me yes. So what we need to do is, we need to just find out which chart is applicable to which scenario and select the chart accordingly. Okay, ये chart आपको the control chart का जो ये ना table है table. Okay, keep that table in front of you and you can select accordingly. Okay, now let's find out a U chart. Let's open the U chart example which have been shared. Let me take another couple of examples before we conclude this, okay? Super, super. Done. Once you've opened it, let me know the chat box, okay? Open. Done, 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 done. The file name is U chart. Now, when do we use a U chart here? When do we use U chart? When we have variable lot size and the data is defect. Okay. So let's try to understand what is this. Let's try to understand what is this. Imagine you are a quality inspector of a five-star hotel. Okay, you are a quality inspector, of a five-star hotel. By the way, when I remember of have you seen? Yeah, you must visit our YouTube channel. Everybody has subscribed to our YouTube channel, yes or no? Everybody, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel, Parallel Gaming's YouTube channel? So just if not, please do that. And because we are talking about this, please check the check our. You can just type Six Sigma. Okay, you can just type Dinesh Patel Six Sigma or Lean Six Sigma. You will find SNG's logo. Just subscribe to the channel. Okay. There you will find Mr. Manohar's case study. Okay, Mr. Manohar is now appointed as. Okay, he has completed his master black belt, by the way. He has appointed as director quality at JW Marriott Mumbai. Okay, near Sahar Airport. So he is director quality over there. Okay, so if you happen to visit JW Marriott in Mumbai, please just say hi to him and tell him that you are from SNG community. Okay, so I'm just talking about the so he got that appointment now, and last few months ago, he shared a lot of training, internal training he's doing in quality, etc., etc., for chefs and for managers and housekeeping staff, etc. It's amazing, amazing story, yes. Okay, now coming back to this, imagine you are a quality inspector in a five-star hotel, and here you are inspecting. Now these are number of inspected. So rooms inspected are, let's say, 14. So one day so first day he inspected 14, second day 8, 12. So there is a variable sample size. Okay. And here he is finding out defects. What is defect? In the room, there could be multiple defects. Let's say if the washroom is not cleaned properly, the bed is not done properly. So there are various defects. So here in the 14 rooms, he found 16 defects. Okay. Next day, out of 8 rooms, he found 16 defects. Third day, out of 12 rooms, he found 10 defects. So variable sample size and the defects data is there. Then you can go for U chart. Okay. How do you go for U chart? Let's go the same way. Go to stat, control chart, attribute chart, and you will find U chart over here. Okay. U chart. Stat, control chart, attribute chart, U chart. Then the same thing here, you have to select what you will select the variable. You will select the variable effect. Okay. And the subgroup size is the sample size, which is nothing but a rooms inspected. All right. And just click on OK. And now here we go. Look at this. So interesting. The similar kind of the step one. But now, can you say is the process stable here? Yes or no? Is the process stable? It's clearly evident that the process is not stable. There are data points which are going above and below the control limits. Clear? So you have to just decide according to the table I have given to you. You just decide if it is defect or defective, whether it is variable sample size or constant sample size. Accordingly, you have to decide your chart. Put the data in the chart and you can decide whether the data is stable or not. क्लियर है? और भी एक चार्ट लेना है इसमें. जस्ट गिव मी यस. ओके, एक बार सी चार्ट ले लेते हैं. ठीक है, लेट मी ओपन सी चार्ट हियर फॉर यू. लेट मी ऑल्सो शेयर सी चार्ट. ओके, सी चार्ट को मैं शेयर कर रहा हूं. नाउ व्हेन डू वी यूज सी चार्ट, वो भी देखते हैं. See, do you have to remember all these things? No, not required. We table pura. Just whenever you want to do it, just refer this table. That's it. Open the table, refer it, and select a chart accordingly. Okay, that's it. You don't have to by heart these things. Okay, very good. When do we use the C chart? When we have constant sample size with defects. Okay. For example, if you open C chart, let me close the earlier one so that I can focus on one chart only. Just a second. Just give me a second. Okay. So I think everybody open? C chart का file open किया? Just give me yes. Super. Now look at this. Now a teacher, a class teacher is checking the papers, okay, of the students. Now, let's say there is an examination where 100 questions are there, or 20 questions, 30 questions. The question sample size is same. So here, even though the papers are different, the sample size is let's say constant, okay, and the number of errors, which are basically the defects. So whenever you have a constant sample size and the defects, which are errors, so it is called a C chart. So how do we use that? The same procedure: control chart, attribute chart, and select C chart, which is at the bottom. Okay. And in the variable, just select error. That's it. Don't do anything else. Just select error and click on OK. And you will find this graph plotted. Now, still there are 3 data points which are going above the control limit. That makes this process not stable. Clear, everybody? Just give me a chat box. So this is how you can select various control charts according to the various requirements of yours. Clear? Just give me yes. See, initially, if you are doing it first time, it seems to be a little overwhelming. But that's where I always suggest just do some practice. You will realize one thing. Let's, like, for example, look at this. If you want to make any control chart, you just have to go to stat and control charts. Okay. Then you will find all the 3. Okay. Individual control chart है तो ये I chart पे जाना है. If you want to go for X bar R, X bar S, subgroup पे जाना है. Attribute chart. So ये 3 ही applicable हो गए यहाँ पे. See here. तो वो पूरा मैप आपके दिमाग में फिट हो जाएगा. Okay. And if you do it regularly, then it will become very easy for you to navigate through this. All right, guys. Clear here? Just give me yes in the chat box so that, that's it from my side, by the way. How was it? Was it useful giving a quick run through the entire curriculum, almost entire, I will not say entire, but almost entire curriculum of Greenbelt? Was it useful? Was it helpful for you to get some clarity? And, very good. Now, let me, as I asked this question before, okay, there could be few people who would be ready for the examination because they are already gone through the entire curriculum. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for your for your feedback. Okay, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Okay, and on working days, turning up for 2.5, 3 hours every evening is not a joke. Really, hats off to your commitment, guys, for making live lot of people could not get it, but they check the recording later, okay, because the timing does not match. But you guys attended live, it really makes huge difference. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Sumanji. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, let me quickly explain you the procedure for the green belt examination. Okay. I repeat again, if you are not ready with all the all the content, if you have not gone through the content completely, do not give the examination. The risk is not to fail the examination, the risk is to pass the examination without preparation. You might clear the examination because it's an open book test. Okay, let me give you the idea. It's a 1 hour examination online. Okay, 50 MCQ questions will be there, 50. So to complete 50 questions in 60 minutes. Okay, so 1 hour is the duration time. Then it's an open book test, which I already mentioned multiple times, just like our yellow belt, but this will be a little tougher than yellow belt. And then 70% clearing is, it's a standard across all the levels, green belt, black belt, master black belt, yellow belt, any level. Okay. And within 7 working days, you should get the result emailed to you. Okay. 7 working days में आपको मिल जाएगा. Okay. Now, if you want to give the examination, you need to send the message on the mentor's number whenever you are ready. Now, is it mandatory to give the exam today? Answer is no. Can I give exam later? Answer is yes. Can I give exam after 1 week? Answer is yes. Can I give individual exam? Answer is yes. Can I give exam on Sunday? Answer is yes. Can I give exam on 1 o'clock in the midnight? Answer is yes. It is so flexible. You can decide your time. Only thing is that 1 o'clock को एग्जाम देना है तो हमें एक बजे मैसेज मत करना कि एग्जाम लिंक भेज दो, हमें जल्दी मैसेज भेज देना. Okay, that is the only request. All right, we have made it super clear, super simple, and whenever you feel like you are ready for this, okay, take your notes along with your side and ask us for the examination at least 1 day prior, few hours prior of the examination, whenever you're ready. Okay, so we will share the link with you, and you can basically attempt the examination. All right, so this is 5248. So this is our mentor's number. उस पे आपको WhatsApp भेजना है, I am ready for the examination. All right, everybody clear है? Super. Yeah, once you open that link, link will be active for 1 hour. Okay, after opening, it will be active for 1 hour. Okay, so before 1 hour, you have to submit it. 70% of passing mark. Yes, so out of 50, 35 right answers have to be given to clear the examination. Yeah. Okay, so all the 3-4 participants who have upgraded, okay, congratulations for that. Anybody has filled the form for this one, the what do you can say, the consulting business launch program के लिए किसने फॉर्म भरा है अभी? Yeah, I'm just giving you the link for both. If you want to upgrade for the lifetime membership and MBB, this is the link for that. And if you want to go for want to have a one-on-one with me on consulting business launch program, so this is the link for that. Fill up the form and we'll be more than happy to connect with you and give you the entire roadmap. All right, so I think that's it from my side. I hope I've added value in last 3 days. Okay, I was also working, I was also giving training program, I was also traveling just like you guys. Okay, so thankfully all of us have achieved our target. Now it's your your turn to complete this entire procedure, okay, and get yourself certified in green belt and go to the next level of black belt. Okay, and meanwhile, make sure that before 6th of July you upgrade for the MBB as well, and do not skip this exciting offer from your hand. Okay, on this note, I'm just signing off. Keep learning, keep growing. This is Dinesh Patil signing off. Bye bye, take care. Thank you very much. Good night. Yeah, send the message on the WhatsApp number and